Just starting my first training backpacking trip solo. Going in the Bread Loaf Wilderness. Started right down there at Route 125. Top to just drop me off. Got 12 miles to go today. So it's kind of neat. I was noticing these marker flags on the trail, and I believe the Green Mountain Club is going to be putting in some stairs here to help with erosion and help the trail. Be interesting to see it. Maybe it'll be done when I come later on. So last fall, Tupt and I came out here and did some trail maintenance with other members of the Bread Loaf section of the Green Mountain Club, and we cut that chunk of log right there out of here. Makes it much easier. Don't have to step over the log. There was branches and stuff in the way before that, so now it's just a easy walk through. Trail has been in really good shape for this early. We've had some dry weather, so we'll see what the water sources are like, but so far it's pretty smooth sailing. So I'm an hour in, 2.3 miles so far. You can see the black flies. Anytime you stop, they're pretty bad, so I'm gonna keep on moving. Reached the Burnt Hill Trail, which goes down to Forest Road down below. This is the trail that Tupt and I come up to do maintenance on the boys' shelter. We got 6/10 of a mile. Take a little break when I get there. Made it to boys' shelter, 3.1 miles in. Got an hour and 25 minutes to here. My goal was 2 hours, so I'm doing fairly good. And taking my first pack off break. Be here for just a little bit, get a snack, drink some water. Head on north. Back on the trail after a little break at Coulee Glen. Or not Coulee Glen. That boys' shelter. Yeah. I wish I was already at Coulee Glen. That'd be great. Coming to the water source for boys' shelter. It is low and slow right now. Not much water, but you could certainly fill up here. You need a scoop would make it quite a bit easier, but can be done. So the black flies were incredibly bad. There was no wind to speak of, no breeze, and yeah, the black flies are really bad when you stop. So probably I was planning on staying in the shelter tonight, but looks like I'll be setting the tent up tonight. We shall see. Hopefully it's maybe a little bit breezy and we'll be able to stay in the shelter. Find out. Taking a very short side trail on the summit of Boyce Mountain. And the view. Not much of one, but beautiful day other than the bugs. Another nice side view. This one's to the west. And there's a nice breeze, so I'm not being attacked by black flies. Kind of nice. Very nice. Reached the trail junction with Skyline Lodge and Skylight Pond Trail. Goes back down to the Forest Road that way. Long trail north that way. Gone 5.1 miles in about 2.5 hours, so making decent time. Next stop is Emily Proctor Shelter. And take lunch there and get some water. Starting a steep ascent of Red Loaf Mountain. That's the climb through the blowdowns up there, but there's a path cut. And that's what I've come up so far. Still a beautiful day. 3 hours and 5.6 miles. I don't know if the camera's probably not picking this up, but I can see the Killington ski area back in the distance. Reached the summit of Breadloaf Mountain. Gorgeous views. Not really open views, but nice views. So while I did enjoy the views on top of Breadloaf Mountain, the long trail doesn't actually go there. I didn't mean to go there, so I thought the trail went right ahead here. There's no double blaze, but you want to turn right to continue north. Well, I've made it to Emily Proctor shelter, a little under 4 hours. Got another 5.7 miles to go to Cooley Glen. So I'm 7 miles in, feeling pretty good. Didn't need that 2/10 of a mile out of my way, or probably more than that. But time to have some lunch and get some water and get back on trail. Well, back on trail after a nice lunch break at Emily Proctor. Was there about an hour, took shoes off, relaxed. Got 5.7 miles to go. Climbing Mount Wilson now, starting the Vermont Presidentials. Well, I guess I missed the Mount Wilson overlook because I'm coming down Mount Wilson now, but here's a nice view on my way down Mount Wilson. I spy with my little eye Lake Champlain out in the distance. Also, on Abraham. We'll be going over that tomorrow. Well, I've made it over Mount Roosevelt. It's a beautiful view at the top. I inserted a couple of pictures. There was 4 other hikers there. One couple with their dog and 2 women that were doing a section hike, and I just didn't want to video with all of them there, so you'll get to see the pictures. And it is, black flies have dissipated some. The 2 women were heading southbound, and they said the flies were bad at Cooley Glen, so we'll see. You might have to set the tent up. So I've reached a milestone for today, over 10 miles. It's the first time since I broke my ankle a year ago in February I have hiked 10 plus miles in a day, especially with fully loaded gear. My longest day was a day hike. That was 7.8 miles. That was a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't fully loaded. I was loaded for a while because I was bringing shavings to shelter, but so I'm feeling like I can do this again. The descent coming down into Cooley Glen shelter is pretty steep. That's where I'm coming from, and that's where we're going down to the shelter. We're not far from there yet. Unfortunately, the black flies have picked up again. Well, I've made it to Cooley Glen shelter, my destination for the day. Seeing how there's nobody here, I think I'm going to set my tent up inside because, yeah, the flies are bad. It only took me 8 hours, including my lunch stop, so I'm pretty happy. 12.7 miles in 8 hours. Get some camp set up, have some dinner, and get to bed. End of day recap inside the tent at 7:45. More to escape the bugs than anything. Did 12.6 miles today. Gained 2,800 feet and descended 3,800 feet. Tomorrow's goal is probably, I don't know, we're going to see. I'm going to play it by ear.
Original plan was to get picked up on Monday. If I get to Stark's Nest and it's not ridiculously late and I'm not totally exhausted, um, I'm just gonna have Tup to pick me up tomorrow night and just hike 2.4 miles. That'd be a total of 16.3 for tomorrow. But I say the Monroe Skyline's a cakewalk once you make it up Mount Abe. To get down into App Gap is not easy either. We'll just see how we do, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Looking forward to it.